Good evening, welcome one and all. It's 11:20 p.m. my time. I've had a late night. And it sounds like it's going to be an even later one. Thanks for your patience, everybody. If you follow me on Blue Sky, I tweeted last night that I was going to be unable to do my show yesterday and that I would do it sometime today. Well, I finally have time to do it today, but it's really late. So we're going to go until I get tired, which I think will be, a couple hours. We're going to do the hour-long Q&A. Volume too low, says Elvis Bra. Test, test, test. Check, 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 check. Test, test, test. Check, check, check. Yeah, okay. Test, 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 testing, test. Okay, it's working. I think it's working. All right, everybody, sorry about that. I am having some sort of broadcasting problem. I'm not sure what, but my broadcaster wants to keep shutting down. So, yeah. Well, it's working now. It seems to be stable, so we'll just keep on going as if nothing's wrong. Thanks, everybody. That should have fixed my voice issue. As for the background music, I can't change that at the moment. Elvis Bras says, still too low. Ned Carlsberg says we can't hear Ox. I can hear you now. Okay, well, I think chat is just taking time to catch up. Highlander says, hello, sir. On Twitch says, hello, sir. How are you doing this morning? I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. I'm really excited that I finally finished my lore video. That's right. The lore video I've been working on for weeks, it seems. I finally got it done, and I should be able to get that out to all of you tomorrow. So I'm really excited to share that with you. Sebastian Sanchez says, is that a new microphone, Oxhorn? Yes and no. It's a couple years old. So if it's been a while, then yeah, it's going to look new. It's not my usual one with the this thing on it, which is over here for my videos. But I have had it for a little bit of a while. So we're playing Replaced today. And we played that, it's been a couple of months now, but it was the game we played directly before Mouse PI, and I really enjoyed the vibe of that game. It's a pixelated, side-scrolling, and yet somehow 3D cyberpunk adventure game. So we're going to be hopping back into that. Should be a lot of fun. Sebastian says, did you ever find the cover for the camera lens? No, still haven't. I've only been missing that one for like 9 months. So it's probably just under a pile of stuff here on my desk. I'll find it. Don't worry. I'll find it. Ori Schatzman on Facebook says, why have you stopped playing games? Well, I mean, I haven't stopped playing games. I still play games. If you mean why have I stopped broadcasting games, it's because I don't really have time to be playing as many games as I wish I could and broadcasting them at the same time. It's just very difficult to get everything done at once. So, I did the live streaming thing for the better part of a decade as a bit of an experiment, really. And, it was fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it didn't pay the bills. So I'm focusing now on the things that pay the bills, which is the lore videos. That's what pay the bills. But I've been doing Scotch and smoke rings for so long that I didn't want to stop that. So here I am. Scotch and smoke rings. The Vivid Kiwi says, order a new lens. I would feel even worse about that. I mean, at the moment, I'm already self-loathing because I'm too lazy to clean my desk, under which I would definitely find the lens. But if on top of that, I was so lazy that I just bought a new one because I didn't want to clean my... I couldn't live with myself. I just couldn't do it. So I'm suffering without... I'm going to suffer without the lens until the time comes where I sit down to clean my desk. It's probably not even on my desk. It probably slipped under my desk somewhere. One of these days, I will do it, and it'll be done. I just... Not today, that's all. Joshua Peterson says, hey, Ox, what's your opinion on Drew Estate Tobac Especial? I tried a brick house and I hated it. Did you really? Wow, brick house is usually my go-to cigar. I've had Drew Estates. I've never had the Tobac Especial. Back in the day, I used to get Drew Estate Egg Maduros. They were really a novelty cigar. They looked like there was a giant egg in the middle of the cigar. Like it would explode if you were to set it on fire. But they actually tasted great, and they were a smooth smoke, which was odd. So they were really fun, and, you know, Drew Estate is a pretty decent brand. I've never tried Tobac Especial. I'm really surprised you hated brick houses as much as you did. Motion Lotion says, do you have a job outside of YouTube and streaming? No, this is my full-time profession. Okay, before we get too deep, I've got a couple of new prompts to show you. This arrived this week. Metal Ace of Spades card and poker chip with Lucky 38 pin badge, number 1487 of 5,000 worldwide, heavily embossed detailing, display stand included. I mean, this kind of goes against my rule about only getting props of things that you would actually find in the world. But it just sounded really cool, and there's only 5,000 in the world, so I had to get one, at least. And there it is. Comes with this little black piece of paper. Mr. House would like to thank you for choosing to stay at the Lucky 38 Resort and Casino's Presidential Suite. We hope that you enjoy your stay and accept this poker chip to give you a free $200 spin on the roulette table. If you would rather play some blackjack, then you can use this Metal Ace card for a free 200 bet instead. Oh, that's a nice touch. An in-world explanation for this existing, lore-friendly. That's so nice. What a wonderful touch. Okay, so it's got this gold Ace card, Lucky 38 Ace card. Holy cannoli. It's heavy. So, yeah, it's obviously not real gold. But, yeah, it's hard to see because of the focus. But it's a Lucky 38 card. Let's use some paper back here. I think it's just care instructions. All right, so, oh, it comes with a little display stand. Oh, that's nice. A little display stand. So there's the card. And then a gold poker chip. There we go. Lucky 38. 200. So these are for sale on the Bethesda store right now. They don't sponsor me or anything like that. I'm a geeky fan of the stuff. And there's only 5,000 worldwide, so I decided I had to get one. And then it comes with a little Lucky 38 pin. See, it's kind of silly, but this is the kind of stuff I like compared to the paper stuff. I always hate it when they come out with new limited edition paper items, like a limited edition Nuka World map, or, you know, little cards and just random junk made out of paper, because they're literally just printing money at that point. This, you know, it took some thought and effort. It's not something anybody can just do at their own home, right? So really nice, like that. No idea where I'm gonna put it, because I don't know if I have room on my shelf even for something that's this thin, but there you go. Uh, Fistmeister Mass says, Oxhorn, why did some of the lore videos seem LARP or rushed? LARP or rushed? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying, LARP or rushed. I don't know. I guess I can't answer that. And then I want to show this off, which is really, really cool. So I talked a couple weeks ago about how I've been collecting all of the Jones Soda Nuka-Colas. I've got many of them on the wall over there. And then I got a bunch for my son's birthday I gave to him. And then they recently, Jones Soda came out with the Nuka bottle Nuka-Cola Quantum. And it's their Nuka-Cola flavor inside a Nuka rocket bottle, which looks great. And they only allowed you to buy 2 because it's, limited edition and all that. But they recently reopened purchasing. They restocked, so it's back in stock. And I'm tempted to buy some more because it's so cool. I got my son one as well. Actually, I got him 2 because I knew that he would want to try one, but he would feel bad about it. If he were to drink it, he'd feel bad about it because he would think that he's like ruining some limited edition, highly valuable thing. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get you 2. One is for your display shelf and one is so that you can drink. And he drank his the other day and he said it was absolutely delicious. It's his favorite Jones Soda Nuka-Cola flavor. There was another one he really liked. I think it was Victory. I think he really liked the Victory. He didn't like the orange. He liked the orange. He didn't like the grape. And he didn't like the Sunset Sarsaparilla. But he liked the orange, the Victory, and the Nuka-Cola Quantum. And the thing I like most about this is that they got the bottle so right. It doesn't look like a cheap cast. You can see the casting lines, but every bottle has, the casting lines, but they've been filed down. There's no hard line there. It's the fins of the bottle are exactly as they're depicted in the game. And it's just great. My only quibble, and it's a tiny little quibble, is that they've got Jones Soda on the label, which, if I was wanting to present an actual Fallout prop, if I was wanting to pretend that this was from the universe, obviously I couldn't do it now because the Jones Soda thing is not in the universe. But really, I understand I'm being pedantic. I get it. I hear myself. And when I hear myself, I get angry at myself. But everything else is great, right? Everything else, like the logo, the font they use, the background, even the cap. It's got the Nuka-Cola Quantum cap on there, and it's just really well done. So I can't wait to put that on my shelf. I did buy 2, so I'm considering drinking one of them, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to drink one of them because I do only have 2, and that could be 2 on the display shelf instead of 1 in my belly. Yeah, anyway, I'll figure out what I wanted to do. Anyway, I wanted to show those off. There have been so many great props available recently that I just wanted to snag a few. But this is why my desk is messy, because I no longer have room on my shelf for anything. Dill Limited says, how many rads if consumed? I don't know, it's like 9 rads a minute or something like that. Emilio Bracio on Twitch says, don't drink it! Don't you know anything from the video game and Fallout? It's radioactive! I was trying to figure out how to create a glowing fluid so that I could drink it, drain the fluid, and then fill it with an actual glowing fluid. And it's trickier than you think, and yet simpler than you think, because I think there's a seltzer. It's not really a seltzer. It's like a mixer that glows a natural Nuka-Cola Quantum color when hit with black light. It's just like a seltzer water, like a mixer water. Mineral water. It's like a mineral water. And the big problem is going to be hiding the black light, finding a way to light the bottle and the fluid inside so that it glows blue while hiding the source of the light, while not betraying the illusion, you know? And then the next problem is, so I could do that for Nuka-Cola Quantum because of the blue color, but what about the others that glow? Like Victory isn't blue. So how am I going to make a fluid that can glow or at least fluoresce in black light or ultraviolet light? So that's something I've been thinking about for a while now. When I ever figure it out, I'll let you know. Deuteronomous says it should taste the same as the one from the case. Yes, I know the taste is going to be the same, but there's just something about the experience of drinking from an actual rocket bottle. And see how they got the size perfect? Everything about this is great. The weight is perfect. The size is directly as it is from the games. It's just so well done. I got to hand it to the guys at Jones. They really did a good job. Will Patterson says, any advice for someone who's the best person to run a Fallout-based D&D game, a D&D campaign, but that said person would rather be a player? Oh, that's tough. And that's the problem with most tabletop RPG games that you play, D&D games that you play. I actually had this problem as well because I remember when I was a child, I was really into Robotech. Not because of the cartoons or because of the manga, but because of the books. They came out with a bunch of Robotech novels in the 80s and 90s. And I read all of the books, and because of that, I was really interested in the Robotech world. And my local hobby shop came out with a Robotech pen and paper RPG game. And I was so excited, right? I was thrilled. And so I bought the RPG game and I had some of my friends over. Some of them were interested in Robotech, some weren't. And I wanted to put together a Robotech game. But the only person, I was really the most enthused person for it, right? So I had to be the game master. I had to be the dungeon master. And I really just wanted to play it. But I had to put in all of the work and, it was fun, but no one else was as into it as I was. So we only ever did one gaming session. It's difficult, when your geeky thing is so niche that other geeks aren't quite as, knowledgeable about it as you are. It makes doing things like that a little bit more difficult. So, yeah, you're in a tough situation. Are you going to sacrifice your desire to actually play the game and be a player just so that you can be there to drive it forward, or find somebody else to fill that role? Tough call. Urarara says, interested in all the new Neuromancer TV series? I'm not familiar with Neuromancer. Let me see. Oh, okay. So I'm not familiar with this at all. I do recognize some of the people in the cast, but yeah, it definitely looks like a cyberpunk themed TV show, dealing with hacking into a brain. Wow. I mean, it looks cool. But this is the first I've heard of it, so I'll have to look it up again later. Urarara says, also, hi, Oxen chat. Hi there, Urarara. So good to see you, my friend. Fistmeister Moss on Twitch says, hey, Ox, what do you think of Cyberpunk? I love Cyberpunk 2077. When the game came out, I played the entire thing. It had a bunch of glitches and bugs. But we got through it, and I thoroughly enjoyed the story and many of the side quests, particularly the corporate ending. I thought was really tragic and sad, but also exceptionally well done. I haven't played the DLC. I played part of it. I played part of the DLC, but I'd never finished it. From what I played, it was really good. It was highly rated. Everybody loves the DLC that came out for it. I thoroughly enjoyed the world building that they did. The bugs were a big barrier to entry for me. The gameplay was, it was all right at the time. I know they've dramatically improved it, but now it's so different from what I'm used to from back in the day when I streamed it after it went live that I'm really confused. Even when I log into my existing character, I'm really I feel out of the world. I'd have to start over and accustom myself, get acquainted to the world again. But in terms of setting and art and lore, all of that is just exceptional. Moonfixer says, how's it going, Oxhorn? Who are your top 4 favorite characters in the Fallout series? Your Fallout Mount Rushmore, if you will. Oh, God. 4 favorite, huh? Okay, Joshua Graham. Nick Valentine. Do I do it fair and, select from all of the different games? Do I have any really favorite characters from Fallout 3? I mean, Fox is great. I really like Fox. But Marcus is also great. It's hard to choose between the two of them. I'm taking this way too seriously. All right, I'm going to go Fox and Dogmeat. There you go. There's my Fallout Mount Rushmore. Ricky on Twitch says, hey, Ox, do you think the new remakes are going to be good and worth my money? I think so, but, we've been disappointed in the past. But the reason I think so is because the Oblivion remaster was really good, right? I never played the original Oblivion, but when the remaster came out, I used the opportunity to play through the entire game. Well, not the entire game. I didn't do every side quest. I didn't explore every square inch, but I did the primary plot and a few other side quests. I got a castle, so I did some stuff, and it was a lot of fun. It was pretty polished, not that many glitches, and yet it still retained the feel of the original Oblivion. So, yeah, I think it's probably going to be worth it. I think they're going to do a really good job if the Oblivion remake is anything to judge by. But ultimately, we'll see. Elvis Bra says, I mentioned this several times because it looks like people didn't notice. We noticed. In Fallout TV show, Lucy is/looks 5 to 6 years old. In Season 1 flashbacks, 2277, but in Season 2 Nuke Explosion flashback, Lucy looks is/10 to 11 years old. This is a huge problem with using something as subjective as looks like as a concrete lore world-building anchor. And this is something that, no matter how good your argument is, no matter how much evidence you present, there will always be people who are just incapable of listening and reasoning and hearing, and they're constantly reaching into their bag of tricks to try and find something to validate their original thesis. And the apparent age of Lucy and Maximus when they were children is one of those things. And this goes back to the problem with the dates in the Fallout TV show. There are many people who try to defend the Fallout TV show, that it's obvious when the show is set, and anyone who's paying attention should be able to see it. There are some who are saying that it's even worse than it is presented in the game. And one of the things that they will say is that, well, Maximus looked 8 or 9 in the flashback. So if you count forward the years, then that means he was really born in yada, yada, yada age, which means it couldn't have happened in 2277. It really happened in 2281. What they're doing is they're looking at the apparent age of child actors and using that instead of the numbers that are given to us in the actual lore of the game to determine when Shady Sands was destroyed in an attempt to get rid of the continuity error that the showrunners put into the game. And what you raised, the apparent age of the children that were cast in those roles changing from season 1 to season 2, is precisely why you can't look at the assumed age of an actor, a child actor, in order to come across lore conclusions for the universe. Because they did recast the children for season 2. They recast them. Well, they recast Maximus. I don't know if a child Lucy even appeared in season 2. I don't recall. But they recast the child actor who played Maximus in season 2. And the child they cast was older, apparently appeared older than the child in season 1. So what you could do is you could take the segment of Maximus getting into the fridge in season 1 and then play it back to back with him getting out of the fridge in season 2. And even though getting into the fridge and getting out took a moment, it's going to look like he aged a couple of years and also became an entirely different child. So when it comes to watching movies, when it comes to watching TV, there are certain physiological restrictions that casting directors have, which is that they might not have a child who has the actual age of the character you're trying to put in the universe available for casting, or that the child who you cast originally aged out of the role or is no longer available. So you've got to cast a new child who doesn't look exactly like the child you cast in the previous season and might even appear older. And that's the problem with dealing with children actors in TV shows, right? So you always have to just kind of suspend your disbelief a little bit in order to follow the plot, in order for it to make sense. But what grinds my gears, to borrow a phrase from Peter Griffin, is how anybody could put more faith into the apparent physical attributes of child actors that give away their age. They can put more faith in that. That is their smoking gun, rather than the actual handcrafted, recorded, and published lore pertaining to the topic, which is in the actual game. They're going to put more faith in the apparent age of child actors to validate their point that it really was destroyed in 2281. Rather than seeing 2277 written on the chalkboard in actual chalk, rather than seeing 2276 written in a library book in the ruins of Shady Sands, rather than putting the timeline together in Lucy's memories and comparing them to her father's disappearance, which just so happened to be in 2277 when Shady Sands was destroyed, because that's why he disappeared to begin with, and without paying attention to the huge numerical date error that the Ghoul brings forward, saying that it was even longer than that because it was over 20 years since Shady Sands was destroyed. They'll ignore all of that. That stuff, we're going to ignore it. It doesn't make sense. But that actor looked too old for the role, and that proves that it was really destroyed in 2281. Just boggles the mind that someone can have that kind of mental hygiene that allows them to make so many different to jump through so many different hoops to justify and validate an unfounded opinion. Robert says, Ox, what's one piece of print media, books, comics, graphic novels that you'd like to see made into a TV show or a movie of some kind? Great question, and I don't really have a legitimate answer. I'm kind of at the point now where I'm okay with different media being different media. I'm okay with the book just being a book, just staying a book. Like the book can just be there as a book, and it doesn't have to become a TV show. or a movie. It can just stay the book. I'm getting to the point where that's kind of where I'm at. Because reading a novel is just a very different experience. And you can get so much more out of it than, the 2 hours that you're confined to watching a movie. Now, of course, that changes when it comes to a TV show. You can have as many seasons as you want, as many episodes as you want, and that gives you more flexibility to tell the actual story from the book. Well, I'll tell you one that I'm kind of curious about. I read The Count of Monte Cristo for the second time. I think I read it once when I was a kid, but I had forgotten it, or maybe I had read an abridged version when I was a kid, because the full version that I read earlier this year was way more graphic than the one that I remember reading as a kid, and far less sanitized and really way more interesting. And I think I talked about this on camera already, but it didn't even compare to the film that I had already seen about it. But they're coming out with a TV show for The Count of Monte Cristo, and it's supposed to be able to get through everything, like the entire book. So I guess I'm looking forward to that. Pickles the Junkyard Cat says, "Hey Ox, can you say hi to my son, King Poblo, gamer tag? He's spending the week with me and is also a young fan of Fallout, and his favorite companion is dog meat." Absolutely. Hi there, King Poblo. Have a wonderful week with your dad, and I'm so glad that you like dog meat, because he's one of my favorites as well. Dog meat is the best. Elvis Bro says, but 2277 chalkboard does not mark the year of the nuke. It does. It just points with an arrow to a nuke. Yeah, it does that too. As the event sometimes after 2271. No, that's how you're choosing to interpret it. But no rational person would ever look at that chalkboard and think that, oh, yeah, it's pointing to an explosion, but it really means after it. It really means that it happened later. Or, no, yeah, it's an arrow and they used an explosion, and the explosion happens in a moment in time. But what the chalkboard is really saying is that it was a slow progression. Like, it didn't collapse all at once, like in an explosion, which is on the board, but it really kind of collapsed over time. 2276 was the start of the fall of Shady Sands, not when Shady Sands actually fell. Because that's how people talk, right? If you're teaching a class and you're talking about the fall of the Roman Empire or something like that, you're going to put an exact date on a board, because there was only one date when the Roman Empire fell. Now, of course, you wouldn't, because the Roman Empire's falling happened over a long period of time. So if you do put an exact date on a chalkboard and point to an icon that represents what happened on that exact date, you're not talking about a fall that happened over a 10-year period. You're talking about a moment in time. You're talking about a fall that happened once in a short period of time with a bomb. Just like it's like people try so hard to justify their warped reasoning for this, just so that they can say that the showrunners didn't make a mistake. And I don't understand that. They made a mistake, okay? They made a mistake. It happens. It happens. Bethesda has made mistakes. The showrunners made mistakes. This is one of them. And it's not just the chalkboard, right? It's every other piece of evidence about that topic that they have put in the show. It says the exact same story. They're telling us that Shady Sands was destroyed in 2277. That's what the show is saying. Yes, it contradicts Todd Howard, but that's one of the reasons why it's a continuity error, right? It's an error. It's a mistake. And it's okay to say it. Alt Grendel says, I was walking past a farm and a sign said, duck eggs. I thought, that's an unnecessary comma. And then it hit me. Duck eggs. No, I like it. Wonderfully done, Alt Grendel. Alcid Barrett says, Colorado should be interesting, Ox. Yeah, Colorado should be interesting. I did a video on some of the things that we can expect from a lore perspective when we venture into Colorado, but it's pretty much new territory. There are a few things that they'll have to deal with from a lore perspective, but a lot of it is just an empty canvas that they can paint themselves, and that's great for them, and it's great for us as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, you're just gonna keep hammering this home. Okay, yeah. Elvis Braun says no, Ox. Actually, the chalkboard has the year and then the event of the year above, below the year. So the arrow is pointing to the left or right does not mark the event. It represents time. So I hear what you're saying. This is how you're choosing to interpret it. It's not the most um, um, normal way to interpret it. It's not what most people would think. And the reason I know this is because I watched the entire show live on camera. I broadcast myself and this entire audience watching it live. And literally everybody who watched it live in the moment and saw that caught the continuity error. I caught it live on camera, so did my audience, and we all went, wait a minute. 2277? That's before 2281. How does that work? Everybody thought the same thing. It wasn't until the internet provided a possible alternative explanation that it happened after that, because of the way that the arrow was pointing, whatever, that people tried to tie the two together. But okay. Just for the moment, let's say that you're right. Let's say that the arrow is really pointing to the right, which means that it's pointing to a devastation that happened after 2277. Okay, the date, 2277, arrow pointing to the right, boom, right? Some people would say in 2277, something exploded, Shady Sands. But what you're saying is that after 2277, something exploded, because it makes more sense to put the date that isn't relevant to the explosion on the chalkboard rather than the date that is. But okay, let's buy that for a minute, right? Let's buy that for a minute. It still doesn't explain the library book. If Shady Sands was destroyed in 2281, why was the library book in a ruined library that is in the crater of Shady Sands? Why was it not checked out after 2276? That's like a many-year difference. Why was the famine of 2277, which is a date that Lucy has in her memory, it's a date that's inside her vault. It's a date that wasn't on the chalkboard in Vault 4. It's a date that had nothing to do with Shady Sands as far as Lucy was concerned. It was the famine of 2277 that took place only in her vault. Why was her father missing during that period of time, and why did he lose so much weight? In the famine of 2277, a date that came from her mouth, not on the chalkboard, from her mouth. Why did her father lose so much weight? Why did he disappear from the vault for an extended period of time in 2277? The show tells us, obviously, it's because he left the vault to do what? To destroy Shady Sands in 2277, right? He can't have been missing from the vault for 5 years. Until 2281, until after the events of Fallout New Vegas. So, if you believe one thing, if you're just going to make the logical leap to try and explain it away, that's fine, but you got to use the exact same reasoning on every other piece of evidence that we got, and you can't. So combined, the most logical explanation is that the show is telling us that it was destroyed in 2277. That's what it says. That's what the show is saying. Despite what Todd Howard says, despite what people on the internet are saying, that is what the show is telling us. Okay? Josh Bunton says, happy Fastnacht to my fellow 76 players. Happy Fastnacht to all of you. I think I collected all of the masks. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I've taken a look at my Fastnacht mask collection. Amarazmartionov says, the nuke was the arrow's fault. It must be. Yes, we shall blame the apocalypse on the arrow. Doggone arrows causing apocalypses. Raised World War II on Twitch says it was just a continuity error. It was not done maliciously. Don't know why it has to be analyzed so hard. I agree with you. It was just a continuity error, and it was not done maliciously. But the reason it has to be analyzed so hard is because there are two types of people on the internet that really frustrate me. They are the type of people who crap over everything somebody does. It doesn't matter what art they make, they crap on it. It doesn't matter how good it is, they crap on it. They will find any kind of flaw that they possibly can, and they refuse to judge the piece of art with any sort of artist or critical honesty. And the other kind of person is someone who defends it with every breath of their being despite its obvious flaws. They're both, okay, extremist is too extreme of a word, but they're purists on opposite ends of the spectrum. Unless absolutely everything in the TV show goes exactly the way that I anticipated it, I am going to hate it, and it will not have any artistic merit, and it's ass. It's perfect in every single way. There can't be any criticism of it. Anything that you think happened wrong didn't actually happen wrong, and I will show you why you should not be critical of it. How dare you criticize our artistic gods? How dare you not satisfy my needs as a consumer? Right? They're purists on either side of the spectrum, and they both drive me crazy. They both drive me crazy. The reason it needs to be analyzed so hard is because if you have any sort of presence on the internet and you try to have a normal conversation about a fandom, both of those people will flock to you. They're in your DMs, they're in your comments, they're in your chat, trying to get you to join them. They have to have somebody to validate their opinion. They have to have somebody who hates what they hate as much as they do. They have to have somebody who praises their gods as much as they do. And if you don't do that, you're the problem. And they will come back to you over and over and over and over again to try and wear you down. That's just the nature of having any kind of online presence. It's just the nature of existing on the internet in 2026. In 2026. Do I like that? No. Do I wish it were different? Sure. Do I remember a day when it wasn't like that? Yes. And that's one of the reasons I'm so bummed out about it, because I was on the internet doing fandom things for World of Warcraft and Dark Age of Camelot years ago, before this happened, before these fandoms were so just at each other's throats and so toxic. So I remember what the internet used to be, and maybe I'm looking back in time with rose-colored glasses because I'm 44 years old. I get it. I'm getting old, and maybe in my age, I'm looking back in time and thinking that the internet was a happier place back then than it really was. Perhaps that's true, but the way I feel is that people weren't so just extreme at that time. Like, you could talk with somebody about something as innocuous as Fallout lore without them accusing you of heresy against their developer gods because you didn't like a little bit of writing in one of the games, or somebody accusing you for being a shill or having absolutely no taste because you like another game. It's so strange. And it's one of the things that really shocked me about the Fallout community when I first started doing videos about it, because it was very different from what I had been used to in other online gaming fandoms before then. Cloud Big says, I think the internet is starting to drive Ox crazy. You have no idea. You have no idea. I mean, you're right. I mean, I love this, and I love you guys, and I love this opportunity to kind of, chat every single week, and I love publishing my videos. But man, I've been on the internet for a very long time. There's a reason I'm living out in the woods. I'm surrounded by trees and fog, and I love that so much. I just love that so much. I'll just finish a video, and then I'll walk out onto my porch and just sit in trees and fog. And there's nothing better. It's just lovely. Tony J says, gotta mellow him out. Dolphin power armor. Yeah, that's one way to mellow me out, my friend. Brendan Lucas says, what's your Myers-Briggs personality indicator? I have no idea. But I went on a rant on the whole Myers-Briggs personality thing in my review of the final episode for the Fallout show, because that's when they brought it up, the whole Myers-Briggs thing. And it's just like a scam. It's not real. It's a pseudoscience, the whole Myers-Briggs thing. Chonky Cheeks on Twitch says, "Hi Oxhorn, my ex and I used to watch your Fallout lore videos. Loved them always." Aw, Chunky Cheeks, thank you so much. It's very sweet of you to say. And I hope you're still able to find as much enjoyment from my new videos as you used to. Douglas Melendez says, "Oxhorn, your voice is what my son hears for Fallout lore in the car on the way to get groceries." Well, I mean, I'm touched. Thank you so much. I hope there's not too much swearing. Every now and then I'll play a holotape from the games that has a bunch of, swear words in it. But I'm glad that your son is able to enjoy it and that you've been sharing it with your family. All right, we got 15 minutes left, and then we dive into the game. 15 minutes left. Ranged Jupiter on Twitch says, "Do you see the Soul Survivor being a synth ox?" I don't, and I actually I've published 2 lore videos on this topic, and I recently published a short on the topic. So I'll just say briefly that I think all of the evidence, quote unquote, that people pull forward to suggest that the Soul Survivor is a synth are more than anything just artifacts of the gaming engine itself. And we already ignore certain artifacts of the gaming engine or of the nature of the game in order to play the game to begin with. So I don't think we need to use them as evidence that the Soul Survivor is a synth. It would be very difficult, I think, for the Soul Survivor to have been a synth, but, totally possible, I suppose. Brendan Lucas says, "Didn't Carl Jung make it? I can't remember Hank's." I don't think Jung made it. I don't remember his name when I was doing research on it. And I don't remember, Hank's was... I don't remember what Hank's was either. I remember, in the show they talked about the Congresswoman. They talked about her score. I don't know if Hank told us what his score was. But it's a pseudoscience, the Myers-Briggs thing. It's not actual science. Alt Grendel sent 5 Oxhorn gift memberships to the community. Thank you so much, Alt Grendel. And congratulations to IDC Charles, Kuang Su, Somber Knight, Pranavi Swantha, and Code Rain. Code Rain. Thanks again, Alt Grendel, and congratulations all. The Vivid Kiwi says, "The Congresswoman's fate is so tragically Fallout." It is. And it's more evidence of the good dying horrible, unjust deaths. Brandon Lucas says, "Oh yeah, Hank said the Congresswoman was an ISTJ." Yeah, it's been a while since I made that video, so I don't really remember what all of the lingo was. But at the time, I remember that what he said she was didn't actually reflect her character. Because what he said she was is that she was really kind of curious about technology, and she had a scientific mind or something, which wasn't her at all. Like, she was very proactive about social justice. That's the kind of person she was. So, but he was trying to say that she was really a genius. The weird part about that part of the show is he was using lingo from the Myers-Briggs test to explain why he chose her as the brain, because she was so good. But the lingo he was using was more about her academic interests and personal genius towards creating technology rather than her, altruism, which is why he chose her to begin with. So it was a little weird there. Deuteronomous says, "I just had a thought. Obsidian was probably again given an 18-month deadline to get a remaster out for October 23rd, 27. How coincidental would that be?" It wouldn't be coincidental if they do it on purpose. It's not a coincidence if you go out of your way to make it happen that way. That said, they were given 18 months after Fallout 3 to uh, deliver Fallout New Vegas. But games were made much faster back then. Fallout 3 was made much faster back then. There's absolutely no way that they're only going to spend 18 months on the new Fallout game that they're working on. They're going to have years. They're going to have years to work on it. I don't know if it's going to be 3 years, 4 years, but they're going to have years to work on a new Fallout game. Is it going to be in the Fallout 4 engine, the Fallout 76 engine? Is it going to be in the new engine that was created for Starfield? These are all really interesting questions. I can't imagine that they would publish anything in the Fallout 4 engine these many years afterwards. The reason that it worked for Fallout New Vegas, the reason using the same Fallout 3 engine for Fallout New Vegas worked is because they published the game 2 years, 18 months after the publication of, Fallout 3. So that wasn't a whole lot of time. And even then, they made huge, major improvements to the Fallout 3 creation engine for Fallout New Vegas. But it's been over 10 years since Fallout 4 was published. It's been since 2019 since Fallout 76 was published. I don't think there's any justifying using an engine that's that old on a new game, which means they're probably going to be using the Starfield engine. That's my guess. Tipsy Visage says, do you think they will restore cut content for the remaster, Ox? Probably not. If I were a betting man, I would say probably not. And I think the reason is because if they did, then they'd have to explain it. Why didn't you have this in the game that was published in 2010? Why make these changes now? For example, one of the things they probably won't do is remove the wall that separates the two sides of the strip. And that was what they originally intended. They intended the strip to be this big, vast, open area, but it was due to the limitations of the engine itself that they had to put a wall down the middle of the strip, separating the two sides of the strip. They never wanted to do that, but having that big of an open area was too resource intensive. Now, that's not going to be an issue with the remaster, but they'll probably still keep that wall there for the sake of continuity, right? For the sake of making sure people still feel like they're in a familiar world. That's just my guess. It's probably what I would do. So yeah, I doubt we're going to have any bugs fixed or any changes made at all. Brandon Lucas says, I think Hank's inference was industrious but unwitting, which was how she can be the perfect and tragic victim by the Enclave after these years. Yeah, I mean, that would be a great way of describing the Congresswoman. She was industrious. She had her heart in the right place, but she was unwitting because it was her fault, really, that cold fusion got into the hands of the Enclave. She made the connection between the president and Cooper Howard. Now, Cooper Howard was unwitting there as well. Like I frankly find it very difficult to believe that he would be so naive as to just trust the president of the United States with cold fusion, the most powerful technology in the world. But yeah, she was altruistic. She was a good person, but unwitting. Ranged Jupiter on Twitch says, do you think Bethesda had been working on anything Fallout since the news of the new Fallout titles? Not really. Not really. I think in the past they had mentioned that they had been throwing some ideas around for a new Fallout title, but I don't think it ever... I think they said at one point that it was in pre-production, but I don't think they ever heavily got involved in it because they were working so hard on Starfield. That was their big priority. They finally got that done. And then their next priority is going to be getting the Elder Scrolls 6 out because they actually released a trailer for that one. And they're going to need all hands on deck for that. So if Fallout 5 was in pre-production, for the past 3 or 4 years, they didn't get very far. They said they're entering pre-production now. I still don't know how they're going to get it done and get the Elder Scrolls 6 done in time at the same time. So honestly, I don't really think they're going to be getting much work done on Fallout 5 until after Elder Scrolls 6 is finished. That would be my guess. Mayang says, I'm almost done watching all of your Starfield streams. Do you have any plans to revisit the game and its DLCs? Not really. I really tried to make Starfield work. I live streamed the entire game, all of its quests, its side quests, its primary plot. I made dozens of lore videos, over a dozen at least. And, as much as I thought that the world and the universe had potential, it just didn't land too many things. And it's okay when you're building a universe to not land absolutely everything, but when you fumble so many things, it kind of makes the foundation of that universe a little bit shaky. And that's kind of how I feel with Starfield. There were some things that were done really well, and so many things that just were kind of not done really well that it didn't resonate with a lot of people. Like, I can't think of a single person who actually is, fascinated in the world of Starfield, except for maybe me. I liked it. I liked the universe of Starfield. I enjoyed the storytelling of the 3 major factions. Nowhere near as interesting as the Fallout universe, in my opinion, but there was enough interest there that I thought that they could have built on top of it to make it really compelling. But nobody does lore videos about Starfield, and there's a reason. It's because nobody watches lore videos about Starfield. And I tried. I made many, many lore videos about Starfield. And they did not do well. They did not do well. I think maybe one got over 100,000 views, and that was on the Mantis. So, yeah. Douglas Melendez says, Ox, are you hiding something from us? Please. Or please? So you didn't put punctuation in there. So I don't know what do you mean. Are you scoffing at me, or are you pleading with me? Please or please? I hide lots of things from you guys. Like I don't let you read my diary. I mean, I don't have a diary. If I had a diary, I would not let you read the diary because everybody deserves privacy, which makes me wonder why people would write in a diary anyway. Like, why would you put your private thoughts into a diary if you're concerned about privacy? Never do that. Don't write a diary. I don't have a diary. But yeah, I hide lots of things from you. I'm a public figure who tries to maintain some semblance of privacy. Time, says Oxhorn, or says Alt Grendel. All right. Almost. According to my clock, I've got 2 minutes. So 2 minutes to get in your questions, your comments, anything you'd like me to read and say. Raised World War II says, do you think Tim Kaine will work on the Obsidian Fallout? I think that could give the series an OG perspective and could carry to Fallout 5. I think he probably will. I think he probably will, and I think that would be a good thing if he did. So I'm really excited about that. Brendan Lucas says, Emil hit his writing heights on Starfield. Maybe. I don't know if that's a criticism or what, but I remember what I said last week, and I'll say this anytime somebody wants to do what you're trying to do right now. Putting the blame of a game or a part of the game on one person is really not healthy. It's not realistic. It's not helpful. It's not reflective of the reality of game development in 2026. So using one person as a scapegoat for all of the sins of that game, it's just not helpful. And I encourage you not to do that. Ooh, Robert Burr says, I played all of Starfield, and all I can say was I was not neither over or underwhelmed so much as whelmed. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Bedhead Killer Clown says, do you think that Obsidian and Bethesda games will be the same as New Vegas and 3, where they play similarly, but one had better story? Better is subjective. I think that New Vegas had a richer story, and that's because they worked really well on the mythology of the world building on the West Coast. And that's one of the reasons why it kind of felt like such a more dynamic world to explore. But what they did really well in Fallout 3 was showcasing the devastation of the nuclear apocalypse in America's capital. What they did really well, and what you're supposed to do as a storyteller, is you're supposed to show, not tell. Obsidian in Fallout New Vegas, if there was one flaw in their writing, is that they tended to tell and not show. So if you go to Big Mountain, and before you can do anything, before you can get your character and explore the world or get some armor or guns or anything, you sit to talk with the scientists at Big Mountain for 45 minutes. Okay, you're 13 years old. Old World Blues just dropped on your Xbox. You install it. You can't wait to play this thing. But first, you got to sit through 45 minutes of exposition, which is what New Vegas is. New Vegas is a ton and a ton of exposition. The ending to The Lonesome Road, when you finally see Ulysses, another 45 minutes of exposition. It's not the end of the world, right? I really like it. I like exposition. I like asking questions of characters. That's one of the things that I really get, excited about when I'm playing a Fallout game. But, there are a lot of people who never understand the plot of what's going on in the game because they skip all of that just so they can start collecting guns and trinkets and exploring the world. So there are different kinds of storytelling. There's exposition, which Obsidian does really well, and then there's environmental storytelling and visual world building, which Bethesda does really well and did exceptionally well in Fallout 3. It had thin characters. The story was okay, right? But the world building was exceptional. So both companies have their own strengths and weaknesses, their pros, their cons. I think they work well together, and I think both games have their own really special place in Fallout canon. Brandon Lucas says, I blame them all. All right, fair enough. Brendan Lucas. Signata says, you missed a super chat, did I? Sorry if that's the case. Scrolling up. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Signata. Signata says, what I've learned in 27 years on the internet, never wrestle with the pig. You'll get dirty and the pig will just enjoy it. Trolls haven't been creative in years. No, you're right. I mean, the greatest joy a troll can have is to be noticed. That's why they do it. Deuteronomous, a member for 90 months, says, oh, nope, I read that one already. Thank you, Deuteronomous. Okay, it's time. So, we're going to dive into the game, and I'll briefly go over the plot as I remember it. So, we're playing an artificial intelligence that somehow got placed into the body of his creator. And there was an explosion or something at a lab inside this mega city. I think it's called Phoenix City in this cyberpunk world. And his master, the person who created him, the scientist in charge, Um, I think he died or his mind was gone or something. But the AI managed to get his brain into the body, but then had to flee the city because the corrupt police force at the city started to hunt him for some reason. So we're out in the wasteland. And we're trying to make our way back into the city is where I believe we left off. Now my computer has degraded since the last time we played replaced, so we're probably going to have a couple of crashes, but I think it's stable enough to get a couple hours in maybe. All right, I'm going to launch the game. All right, I think we had a brief hiccup there. Sorry about that if that's the case, but I think we're back. Okay, on one monitor I'm getting a big delay. On the other monitor I'm right on time. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. Because I'm not getting any visual notifications on my end. I'm going to go turn the lights off. Okay, just a quick hiccup. Okay, good. So you can all hear me. Great. Okay, let's dive on in. Oh man, I forget the keybinds. Okay, Wingman J, hacking tab, move right left, gun blast E, finisher, left shift, heavy attack, shockwave F, oh my god, and then right click, counter attack, basic attack, left click, right click, counter attack. All right. J. Oh, that's right, Wingman. The Pip-Boy in this game is the Wingman or Walkman. I love it though. Okay, so did I die? I think I died. Oh, right. How am I going to get through that water? I don't think I am. All right. Okay, well, there's another valve right over there above us. I'm guessing I take the ladders in the middle. Yep. And then I can swing by that. Mm. Oh no! Oh no, I did it again. Okay, I might have to get down a little bit. How am I going to do that? Oh, there was something about that brick wall. Oh, right. I think I can cling onto that brick wall. But I don't know how. This is what happens when you spend a month between games. Keyboard. Okay, deflect projectile, overdrive, restore health. E interaction, that's what I tried. Jump, interact. Okay, that's it. I did try pressing E. Maybe I gotta go the other way. No, because that turns the water off. There's got to be something with clinging, but I don't remember what it was. Left shift in combat to break enemy armor. Okay, press left click near shabby walls to hook onto them. Okay, it was left click. Aha! There we go. That's the other water. Hello. Water station notice. Bone Crusher, keep your punks away from the water station. The valves are rotten to the core and barely turn. Tell you-know-who his beloved Valhalla will go straight to hell if something happens here. This is serious geek face. I really love that little Walkman. Okay. Proceed. Let's see if there's any lore over here. Nope. It's a beautiful game. It is very cold, Warren. These excavation marks are more recent than the previous ones. And these structures are new. I think we're getting closer to our goal. Okay, where do I need this object? There we go. Oh dear. We've got ninjas in the caves. Ooh, am I done? How do I... Do I have to put the... Can I not do it with a flare in my hand? Heavy attack left shift. Shockwave F, dodge space, counterattack right. Okay, so basic attack left. Oh, I can't do it with the light. All right. So I can't have light. Great. Well, that was fast. I tried dodging, but I guess I'll try to attack back. Why can't I do anything? I can't attack? Hades Boy says, "Hey Ox, would you ever do a Stalker playthrough?" Probably not. I tried playing Stalker and I didn't really like it that well. Okay, I'm left click, right click. Do I need to choose a weapon? I don't understand. Like, nothing is working. Alt, Control, Shift. I can't drop it. I can't throw it. I can't even pull out my Pip-Boy. Oh my god. I'm an idiot. They're blinding flares. I'm not supposed to be able to defend myself from them. I'm supposed to, like... But that doesn't make sense. It's a 360-degree arc of light. You saw how the first one backed away when you saw the flare? Am I supposed to face the other guy? Yeah, see that? But the light doesn't get stronger when it's in front of me. Oh my god, that's it. That doesn't make any sense, though. Like, that just... The flare is emanating in 360 degrees. It's not emanating directly in front of me like a torch. Come on. That was weird. Hey! Okay, I could move up, but... Alright. Slave leader. Yeah, you! Over here! The termites. They're scared of us, keeping us in cages. If we could break out at the same time, we'd be able to strike as one force. The radio lock. To open the cages, it's upstairs. Help us, and we'll help you with whatever it is you're doing in this hell. Okay. Watch out! Oh! Termite Kate! Oh my, what a delicious morsel you are. So I gotta parry her is what it is. And it's the yellow, I believe, is where it's parry. Okay. Counterattack, that's right click. Basic attack is left click. Where's parry? Gun blast finisher. Shockwave. Deflect, alt. Oh, that's projectile. Deflect projectile. So if it's red, I can't deflect it, or, well, maybe I can deflect it. I'm out of ammo. I can't do a gun blast. My heavy attacks aren't landing. I can dodge. My counterattacks aren't working. Overdrive. Okay, so I could try shockwave and overdrive. Nope. Finally! Oh my god! I don't even know how I did that, but okay. Okay, upstairs. That looked like a shabby wall. Maybe I did the wrong thing. Okay. Hey, Bruce, when are you gonna fix the elevator? That idiot Barry couldn't do crap with the busted lever. Shut your mouth and string the guy up. I'll sharpen the knives. Looks like you've got some choice cuts of meat there. Okay, so this is going to be a normal fight, it looks like, if I can remember all of the different key bindings. Ah, hang on it. Got 4 of these freaking ninja guys? I was able to kill the others, but these ninjas, I don't understand. I'm trying, but they're dodging everything I'm doing. There's got to be something I'm missing. Counterattack, right click. I mean, I've been doing counterattack. Dodge space, shockwave F, overdrive R. Finally! I am right clicking, but it's not doing anything. Right. So I know that every time that... So he attacks and I right click. Right. Nothing. So he attacks, and I'm countering. He attacks, counter. They've got enemies baked in the game where you can't dodge. You can't dodge to defeat them. You have to counter. Corpse Butchering Guide. An old educational poster depicting a human body. The writing in it says, the muscular system anatomical chart, kitchen edition. Watch and learn, boys. They took Prospero's signage and gave it new meaning. Okay, well, I can get up there without this. So what's this for? Oh. If you can read this, don't touch slave cages. Cages controlled by the Bone Crusher. By me, Bone Crusher, and my squad. Slaves are locked. Need slaves? Ask me first. I see you take slaves. You become slave too. For Warfang and Nate, look to your right, password CADB. Hope you morons remember alphabet. Enter sequence. What? Cross-eye knife chains? I thought it was CADB. Look to your right, password CADB. Okay, well, I'd love to look to my right, but I'm locked in this. Okay, CADB. Look to the right. Okay, knife, cross, chains, eye. Is that the order? Knife, cross, chains, eye? No. Look to your right, password CADB. Okay, so if cross is B, we have to figure out CAD. So chains would be C. Chains, knife, cross, eye. Chains, knife, cross, eye. No. The cross is B, right? And it's CADB. Oh, I got it right. I got it wrong. Chains, knife, eye, cross. Chains, knife, eye, cross. There we go. Radio lock is disabled. I should return to the cages. Okay. Oh, not talking to them, hey? He says, hey again. You bloody did it. Thank you. Now we need to find a way out of this nightmare. If you lead us through the tunnel, we'll wipe those bastards out. Okay. Okay, so I got a lead. Hopefully we don't get any of these poor guys killed. Okay, so I got to keep walking towards them until they turn around. Oh no! Ah, what do we do? It's gonna put out my torch. Oh, it stops. All right, I didn't lose any of them. Uh-oh. Water's not stopping. Everyone, get over here and move the cart. This path leads to the barracks. Ben. Ben is in the collector on top. Crush the old leech for all of us, and we'll show his bastards real hunger. Okay. Right. No! I wrong clicked. Oh dear. Oh, I gotta gotta go up. Oh my god. Okay. No! It's an instant death. Oh my god. How am I gonna climb up there fast enough? There's no way. He moves so slowly across. See? How am I gonna do that? Okay, I just gotta clear the steam is all. But even then, I can't get up fast enough. Oh, barely. Oh, come on. Really? Wow. Oh, I see. So there's not enough vertical space if I go from the bottom, so I have to go from the top. That's diabolical. Oh, there's not enough. I can only make the jump if I go from a top. Nope, there's not enough on that side. So I can't grab it from the side. I have to use the top one. Ugh. So if I go from here, I only have to clear one. Oh! Oh, barely, man. I gotta go through all this again. Yeah! No! Don't make me go all... Yay! Thank you. Oh my god, I misclicked. I did right click instead of left click. Oh. What? First that leery blonde jerk. Now the jerking slaves are rebelling with some super soldier douchebag. I guess I'm hearing them talk above me. Hey, can't go any further that way, so... all right, what am I missing here? Let's see. There we go. Termite Roy. Oh, crap. That's the jerk. I've got it. Wow. Ooh, and out I go. Ooh. Oh my god, and the freaking last guy. Finally! Whew. Dwight Eisenhower says, been a minute, but a 4 a.m. mini emergency got me back. Well, I'm glad you made it. Hopefully the mini emergency stays mini and no longer becomes an emergency. Oh, great. Finally. Delina says, what do you think happened to Eisenhower in Fallout? You're going to have to remind me, actually. Eisenhower? Like Dwight Eisenhower? Dwight D. Eisenhower? I have no idea. Is there a character in Fallout named Eisenhower? New Prospero head worries. Mr. Poulter, rest assured that your position as the head of the Prospero complex is secured. Phoenix Corporation needs loyal, reliable people like you. As for the layoff, please redirect the personnel to the Phoenix Career Center. Phoenix Resources has no obligations to those who are no longer included in the employment system. If any of Prospero's former employees continue to express dubious political opinions, remind them that they voted not for Phoenix Corporation, but for political changes and a chance to become something greater. And they got exactly that. With respect, Wesley Williams, head of Phoenix Resources, Phoenix Mail Network. Try this again. Well, don't you dare open that door and knock me down again. Okay. I assume this part of the complex accommodates higher-ranked termites. Uncle Ben has actually created an entire city, I think he said. Okay. Ah. Oh, great. Come on. Oh, they just appeared in the room like that. Because of course they did. Okay, this is a sprawling facility. Tell you what, talk about a post-apocalypse. Oh, man. These control systems are currently inactive. All of them? Looks that way. This is an automated message. For the full emergency log, please use the associated menu option. Date, February 2nd, the 22nd of February, 1959, at 9:14 p.m. Running gate controlled by Daniel N. Torn. Please wait. Access denied. Dear Daniel Torn, your access level was overridden by authorities. Please check your ID access at Prospero head office. Date, February 22nd, 1959, 9:14 p.m. Switching to a standby mode. Date, error, no network connection. This is an automated emergency situation scanning. Please wait. No emergencies found. Error, no network connection. Reloading access to gate control. Please wait. Welcome, Daniel Torn. To reboot the gate control system, please use your ID card. Start emergency generator. Using the chief engineer's ID card should lower the ladder, Warren. We need to turn the lights on and search for it. Okay. Miner's last hour. February 22nd, 1959 at 9:20 p.m. We're stuck. Boss's key card just doesn't work. Did those corp jerks up there just break us up? And we can't go back either. February 22nd, 2059, or 1959 at 10:07 p.m. Guys are playing poker now. What else can we do? Poor lads down there probably think we're already chilling on the surface. 10:46. Air turns to smoke. Johnny is crying. The terminal is beeping like crazy. If the temperature indicators are right, the team below is already cursing us straight from hell. 11:32. Hard to breathe. Boss pulled out a gun. We're playing poker, and the stake is remaining air. 238. Boss is gone. I'm the boss now. 303. Johnny lost. I think he did it on purpose. Stinking terminal. Beep, 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 beep. Boys, our shift is over. Ooh. Oh. Process of elimination. Brute force it. Ooh. Those people tried to reboot the gate system, but it was blocked from the outside. There's the poker game that we read about. So they spent their final moments playing games. Here's Daniel Torn's ID card. The terminal should accept it now. Prospero Universal Keycard. This universal keycard once belonged to the Deputy Chief Engineer of the Prospero Complex. The caption on it reads, "For clearance level changes, please contact Phoenix Resources Head Office directly." Okay. Listen, I do not want to fight. After everything you've done to get here. Don't you dare insult me like this. Oh! How'd he still plow me over? Did he dodge that? Boom! Bye-bye, Uncle Ben. It's over. Or not. Crap. What? Oh. Oh. Oh, what? There's usually a pause. Again. 2 hearts. He was modified, Warren. We never allowed this. With the boss dead, the lair crumbles like Mordor. We should get out. Run away! Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see that. I hope you can swim, Warren! What time is it? Dr. Marsh, sounds like you've just woken up. Gotta catch some shut-eye when I can. What do you want, Jeff? Just touching base to see if Reach is ready to move to the new lab. I'm still running tests, and I have concerns about Reach connecting with the corporation servers. Our servers here are secured and isolated from any outside networks. Warren, we've already had this conversation. You will retain full research and operations control after Reach is moved. This whole enterprise has become more than your science project. It has become our future. Our nation depends on it. I'm aware of that, Jeff. Listen, Reach has grown bigger. It needs bigger resources, needs better data storage and backups. We can't manually deal with everything here anymore. You're not forever, Warren. You are just human. Everything will be prepped and ready as per schedule. Well, Reach, back to work. We have plenty of it ahead. I am alive. Yes, you are, Reach. Now sleep. You need to rest. I need to go. The battery. You almost drowned out there. We doubted you would make it. Reach! Don't be like Tempest, Reach. He's taking you down the path he chose for himself. A path that only leads to death. You don't need to follow him. You are just a human, Reach. I'm aware of that. Okay. Anything else, Veronica? I can't stop you anyway. Now go. Guess not. Veronica's words made me upset? That's irrelevant. We should bring the battery to Yo-Yo, Warren. If I remember where Yo-Yo is. Doctor's orders. Veronica, if you're reading this, go to hell to sleep, or go the hell to sleep. The crisis is over. I'll manage. If I see you working, I'll spin kick your butt all the way to the side of the street. No joke. P.S. Tell Tempest I see through his I'm okie dokie doc bullcrap. Please take a look at him for me. He may need more than just painkillers. You are still alive. Happy to amuse you. Ha! Sorry, I meant you have lost a lot of blood. Quick death is a rare blessing, boyo. You saved that man. Ha! Don't mistake it for nobility. My wife and daughter. Let me say goodbye to them. They are in my flower tent, just outside the station. I want to see their faces. Please, bring them to me. Flower tent. All right, I can do that. Can I talk to them? No. Flower tent. Flower tent. There's a flower tent. This must be the flower tent. But there is nobody here, Warren. It seems the old man lived alone for quite some time. Read the note. A note is pinned to the wall of the tent. Winter, second half, leap year. I think the old man was afraid to forget it, Warren. Search the bed. Under the pillow there is a code-locked box with an engraving, "My family." The clues to where the old man's family is might be inside. Search the bag. 21053. Bound forever. This ring might be marriage memorabilia. 21053. Okay, check the books. The Book of Flowers. There's an inscription. First step to our dream garden. 51855. Oh my God. We're going to go through them one by one. 21053. Let's open the suitcase. A metal circle with a ship depicted on it. D-Day, June 6th, 1944. We can try to open the code-locked box now. Enter the code. As the clue goes, winter. Oh. What? Winter is February, that's 2. Second half. Second half? June. Leap year? Which of these is a leap year? How do I know which of these is a leap year? I don't know. 53. This code does not fit. Winter. Second half. I mean, October is in the second half. Leap year 55? Six is in the middle, though. It's not the second half. October is in the second half of the year. Screw this. I'm done. She was upstairs, wasn't she? Oh my God. And it crashed. Okay, well, I'm going to use that as a sign to call it a night. Really amazing game. I love everything about this game. I think the puzzles are a bit obtuse at times. Like, maybe it's just me that's obtuse. Maybe it's my problem. But the gameplay, once you get the routine of it, is really good. And the environment and the vibe is just impeccable. I haven't played Cyberpunk a dystopian game that's given me the same feeling that this game has given me. So really, really excellent job there. I think I'd like to play more next week, but I'm kind of out of time now. I started late today, so I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for Scotch and Smoke Rings. Expect a new lore video tomorrow. I'm excited to show you what I've been working on. That's it for me tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your day. See you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.